Hello guys, what's up? It's Kay, and today we'll be looking at the Metal Robot Damashii Night Gundam. And well, what can I say? This guy is more of like, I don't know. I mean, he's interesting. I mean, he's a good-looking figure, but I'm here to tell you guys about the pros and cons of this figure. So let's start with the height, because I know I missed those for the most part. So his height, he stands about 5.5 or almost 6 inches tall. So he's about the standard size of a high grade. So if we can compare him with other robot Damashii figures, so he is right here with the cost signature Gundam Mark II. There you go, almost the same height. If we can do another one here, so let's make him stand up beside the high grade HGUC Blue Destiny. So again, he's a little bit taller, but he's up there. Like he has a decent size. Another one here that we can do is let's see. So here's the anime Zagok. So again, really like they're close to each other. So he's good. He's gonna be looking good with your robot Damashii figures, but this will definitely look good with, in my opinion, with either the Shin Musha Gundam or Musha Gundam. I mean, we're gonna get the Metal Robot Damashii Musha Gundam soon, and then you also have the fixed figuration Shin Musha Gundam. So you can make this figure stand beside those two figures soon if you have any of the other two figures. I mean, just, you know, in reference to Dynasty Warriors. But anyway, so this is the figure. We are going to start off with the accessories first, and then we're going to proceed with the articulation. Alright, so moving forward, let's start off with the accessories. So we're going to start with most of the stuff that he has here. So first you have the cape or the mantle. So it has a little bit of articulation in here. So this is movable here. As you can see, it can move up and down if my camera can focus. There you go. It can flap around, and then this thing can open up, which is neat. But in my opinion, I think it would be better if the Night Gundam has the cloth cape instead. But instead they gave us this, which is fine. But in my opinion, I feel like the cloth cape would work much better. I don't know, this just looks awkward in some poses, but hey, it works. I mean, let's see, other than that, the lining that you're seeing is something that I added. I just added brown panel lines, and that is it. I didn't add any decals because I feel like this figure doesn't really need one, so I just added brown panel lines on it. So that's the cape. And then you have 4 pairs of hands. So you have the open palm hands or action posed hands, and I added brown lining on here, and I just realized I haven't cleaned the excess panel lining paint up on this thing. But yeah, so it comes with a very stylish open palm hand, so you get a pair of those. You have a pair of sword gripping hands, and again I added brown lining on this one. Unfortunately, this thing though, the spike on the hands is not movable, so it's on a fixed pose. So you get another pair of that, and then you get another pair for the lance gripping hand. So there you go, same thing. That's it for the manipulators. Now we're gonna focus on the 3 main weapons here. So first you have the shield. There you go. Nothing special here. I think it's just on a basic peg connection, though it's not really movable. I kind of wish this was on a ball joint, because since it's on a peg connection, all it can do is rotate. So it doesn't have, it's not, the poses that you can pull off with the shield isn't really convincing because of the limited posability on the connection for the forearm. So this just clips onto the forearm, and that is it. It can rotate, and that's it. It's a pretty boring looking shield connection. And then the next thing you have is the lance. So this is very similar to the Gundam Barbatos's mace. The reason why I'm saying this is because the handle extends if you pull it. So that's one of the gimmicks of this thing. And at the same time, the spikes, you can actually pull it up. There you go. Once it's, I guess, activated, and you can make him hold the lance tightly. I guess hopefully it holds it tight, because I've been having problems with the manipulators. There you go. It's giving me problems right now. Oh wait, this is the sword gripping hand. So this is the lance gripping hand. There you go. Nice and snug. So you can make him hold the lance like this. And again, I added brown lines on the lance here just to add more detail on it, because it's missing a lot of lining opportunities in certain sections. And then another gimmick for the lance is that they give you a connector piece to connect to the mantle. So what you do is that this one is on a peg connection or something like that. It's a peg and socket connection that locks in place. So all you have to do is twist it. There you go. It opens up, revealing this section right here. Now all you have to do is lock this in place. There you go. And then connect it back. Let's see here. There you go. So it locks in place. And now, so you just make sure it's not extended, and then you plug it on the back. There you go, just like so. And it's a really good connection, so it's not gonna fall, which is super nice. I forgot to mention also that the way the mantle connects is that this collar pieces will snap onto the collar of the Night Gundam, and then this peg right here will lock in place on the back. Alright, so moving forward, this is, I guess, the best looking piece, or the best looking accessory for the Night Gundam, which is the sword. It has a chrome finish, so you can see there's a chrome paint app here with, if I can guess, this is some kind of, I don't know if it's a silver paint or a bronze light gunmetal color, but it's you can see the color separation on what they did on the sword. So there's chrome and some kind of dark shade of silver for the edge of the blades. So it's a great looking piece. I like my Night Gundam wearing this accessory, holding this accessory, because it really makes it stand out. It's actually way better looking than the lance, in my opinion. So the way this thing works is that it actually locks in place on the shield. So you just insert it, and you have to be careful also if you are going to insert it on the shield, because it damages the paint. And they actually mentioned that on the manual. So you have to be careful if you're going to display it like this. There you go. So really nice. I mean, I think it's snug. So yeah, there you go. It doesn't fall, which is super cool. All right. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention here, and this is one of the flaws of the figure, is that the handle piece here, you can see it's painted in some shade of silver. This big piece right here is actually painted. So it's mainly chrome plastic painted in silver. So this silver piece right here is painted. Now this thing, one of the issues of this thing is the hands. So it has gripping issues. By that I mean he cannot hold his swords, or he can't really do a firm grip on his weapons. So it's really hard. It's just really difficult. So I'm just gonna try and attempt and see if it's gonna show in camera. So you can make him hold it, but then every time you play with it and try to do a decent pose, it's gonna fall. And once I stop, there you go. You see that I just moved it a little bit, and it started falling. And once it does that, it's really hard for him to get that grip. You can see you can already see the frustrating part of it. Now here's the bad side of thing, the worst part of it. Since it's having gripping issues, so you tend to do that, you know, twist it and try to find that tight spot for him to hold the grip. Two parts are colliding. The fingers are colliding with the handle, making it scratch the paint app. So it's gonna scratch the paint app, and you can see mine is already chipped. And I've only had this for a week now, and look at that. It's pretty disappointing. It's already chipping the sides of the handle. I mean, it's easily fixable. I can paint over it, but considering the price of this figure and it has this very minor issue, it's pretty disappointing. So yeah, that's one of the things I hate about this figure is the hands. It has gripping issues, and also the fact that I don't know, they should have just painted this. They should have molded this in the other way around, like silver plastic with chrome paint app. That way it doesn't scratch scratch any part right here. But since it's the other way around and this part is painted, it keeps on scratching the paint up on the handle every time you make him hold the sword, which is very frustrating. So those are the accessories. Oh, and I almost forgot, he has one more accessory, and I haven't shown you guys this, but he comes with the stand. So he comes with a Damashii, a really short Soul Stage arm here, and he has the action base, or the base stand for the figure, which is pretty cool. You can see the Earth Federation logo here, Night Gundam there, and it's all molded, or it's really designed like it gives you that medieval feel to it, which is super cool. But I'm just one of those people who's not really gonna use this, because I normally pose my figures like they just stand right there. So everyone stand, oh sorry about that, but everyone is standing on my shelf here, so I'm not really gonna use this because it takes a lot of space. But anyway, those are his accessories, so we're gonna move on and continue with the articulation. So this is the base figure, and I forgot to mention, aside from the 3 pairs of hands that I showed earlier, he also comes with the generic closed fist. Anyway, so we're gonna start with the articulation. So we're gonna start with the head moving down. So the head is on I guess on a hinge on the neck, and then he is on a ball joint on the head. So you can see there's one movement here, and then the head at the top of the neck has a ball joint, so it can wiggle around, and you can go look to the right and look to the left that far. He can't do a 360 on the head because the collar piece is hindering the articulation, but you don't really have to do it. And then he can look up that far, look down that far, and let's see here, what else? For the butterfly joint, he has that. There you go, pretty good range. There you go. The arm can go 360, and it can go up sideways, not that much because of how they designed the shoulder piece. So it's gonna move up, only move sideways that far. And then let me just put this back. Bicep swivel here, and let's see, almost more than a 90-degree bend on the elbows. The wrist, though, the wrist joint is very basic. It's just on a standard ball joint, so you're not gonna get much. So it can spin, or it can rotate, and it can wiggle, but since normally the Damashii figures that we have been getting lately is on a ball hinge or double ball joint, but since this thing doesn't have it, you can only do limited poses with the sword and the lance. So If it can't do it, or if the figure can't do the pose, it's gonna pop off, which is super annoying. So that's one of the things. That's the second part I hate about the figure, is the standard ball joint on the wrist. So that's the arm articulation. We're gonna move to the body now. Ab crunch, check. Really good bend. It can move up, or it can look up, or you can move it up like this. Really good range. It's on a ball joint as far as I know, so it can rotate. There you go. The side skirts are on a standard ball joint. There you go. You can see it right here. So it can wiggle a little. It can wiggle a little bit. The front skirt is on a hinge-like connection. Yeah, it's on a hinge, so it can flap around like that. Even the back skirt is on a hinge connection, so it can move up and down. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention is that this piece, the shoulders, the head, the side skirts are on a ball joint, so you can easily remove it. So most likely there's a high chance that we will get the full armor parts, or as a web exclusive for the Metal Robot Damashii figure. So if you guys are wanting to ask that question, I hope I was able to answer it on this video. But yeah, full armor parts are definitely present on this figure, so most likely we will get an option part for it. Okay, so moving back, so let's go forward now with the legs. The legs can move up that high. It can move up, move down like that. So he has a good range for the legs, given the fact that he has all these bulk for the armor. And then he can do a really good split. There you go. Thigh swivel is here. Double jointed bend. There you go. Let's see, for the ankle joint, let's see. It has a good range. There you go. It's a little tight, but the more you move it, the more playable it will get. So there you go. He has a good ankle pivot and ankle rocker here, and then he can move the feet can move down that far and move up that far. So that's a good range. And that is it for the articulation. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Die-cast content is going to be the elbows, the hips, the knee joints, and the ankle joints. Other than that, I'm not seeing any more die-cast content here. I'm pretty sure that the chest isn't die-cast, all just the joints here that's obviously showing in the camera. So anyway, I'm gonna snap all its accessories and give you guys my verdict on this figure. So you see this peg right here, so it's gonna lock in place on the socket right there. There you go. As you can see, the grip lost its grip again, which is super annoying. That's the thing I was telling you guys about. So he loses his grip very often. It's super annoying. See that? See, I just did that and it loses its grip again, and it's super annoying. That's why you have to be really patient when it comes to there you go, it lost its grip again. It's you have to be really patient when it comes to posing this figure, because he really cannot hold the sword properly. Super annoying, super annoying. So you get lucky if you get to it loses its grip again. Motherfucker. Let's try that again. There you go. Oh my fucking...
A few minutes later.
Alright, so after 3 minutes of trying to find that grip that I was telling you guys for the hands, I finally was able to do a basic, decent standing pose. So yeah, so you guys saw the video. I did a quick review on the weapons and the accessories and the the articulation. So overall, this guy it's decent. It's not insanely recommendable in my opinion. It's a very frustrating figure. It's overhyped in my opinion. Like there was so much hype on this particular figure, but then at the end of the day, once you get this, it's a letdown. It's a step down from the past Metal Robot Damashii figure, which was the Metal Robot Damashii double riser figure. That figure is really good. I have it here with me. So this one is insanely cool. I have no problems with this particular guy right here, and this figure is insanely cool. It's up there. I think this is the best Robot Damashii figure that was released for this year, and this guy is a step down from the double O riser, which is not shit. I just realized it lost its grip again. Super annoying. But anyway, overall though, I would give this, fuck it, let's just keep it like that. I would give this guy a 3, mainly because the way they engineered this thing is really weird. I mean, sideway articulation for the arms is limited because of how they engineered or they designed the shoulder armor. The gripping issues for the hands is very annoying. I think that's the most annoying part of it. And the fact that it has gripping issues, it damages the paint on the sword here is also annoying. It's easily fixable if you have the right metallic paints, but if you're one of those people who's very hesitant in painting Robot Damashii figures, I would understand that this could be an annoying flaw for this specific figure. And for this price point of $164 with shipping, that is if you pre-order it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more pricey if you order it now. If you weren't able to pre-order it then it's gonna be pricier now. So at this point, it's really up to your preference. If you want a decent Night Gundam figure in 5-inch or 6-inch scale, so if you really want it, go for it. I mean, that's pretty much my reason why I bought this. I really want a good Night Gundam figure in 6-inch scale, which Damashii Nations gave us, and I'm really happy about that. The flaws of this figure, I can forgive it. I mean, I'm not really that picky when it comes to my favorite units getting released. It's just disappointing how they made this figure. Aside from that, as of right now, we only have 2 Night Gundam figures. The first one before this was was from Ban Presto's Kiba Musha line, which is insanely cheap. I mean, it's hard to come by, but it's insanely cheap. It's only $10, 15 bucks if you get one, and it comes with the full armor parts for it is sold separately. At the same time, it comes with a horse, which is also super cheap. It's only about 2,000 yen or 20 bucks. The only problem is that it has good articulation and good sculpting, but the only thing that made me hesitant about this is that the Kiba Musha figure, the Kiba Musha Night Gundam figure is only about 1:200 in scale, so he's like half the size of the Metal Robot Damashii figure. It looks good. I mean, I would recommend that one. It's super good. This is really if you prefer 1:200 scale figures. But if the scale is not something you are a fan of, then you can go with this one. So anyway, so that's the bad side in my opinion. Those are the flaws for the Knight Gundam figure. Now, focusing on the pros of this figure, I mean, what's the good thing about this? It's the fucking Knight Gundam. It looks really good. They have metallic pearl paint going on. It has a pearl finish, actually. It's not just metallic, it has a pearl finish on it. You won't be able to see it on camera, but if you have this in person, the purple parts here has pearl finish on it. You can see it glimmering right now, and even the armor pieces has that. So that's one of the good things. The sword is another thing that I really like. It's super shiny. The chrome, I love the chrome finish. Even they did it on the lance too, which is super nice. I like that also. And overall, I mean, the articulation of this thing is good, minus the wrist joint. So if it has a double jointed wrist joint, plus if it doesn't have any issues on the hands, then I would give this a 4.5 or something. Aside from that, another flaw that I forgot to mention is this big seam line right here on the forearm, which bothers me a lot. And at the same time, you see it lost its grip again. He has a big seam line on the bicep. And again, this is another step down from the 00 riser. I have no idea why they did this, but they went ahead and just went on with it. Like, fuck it. They know that people will buy the Knight Gundam figure just because it's, you know, the Knight Gundam figure. What else? So that's one of the flaws that I forgot to mention. The whatchamacallit, the detail is insanely great, in my opinion. The only thing that I added here are brown panel lines. You can see there's brown panel lines here and there. It's also optional. You don't really have to. I think this is the only robot Damashii figure that I own that made me not want to add panel lines on it. So I was very hesitant if panel lining it would be a good choice or not, but I feel like it was naked. The parts were naked, like it lacked something if I don't panel line it. But it also gave me that that thought that it actually looks good without any panel lines. So it's optional. It looks good with or without panel lines. So I've never had that impression before on robot Damashii figures, because for the most part robot Damashii figures always lacks detailing, especially panel lines, which is super annoying for me. But yeah, overall, so I would give this a 3.5. It's somewhere around that range because of the flaws of this figure, but I will forgive it mainly because it's the Knight Gundam. There we go. So thank you guys for watching. The horse, hopefully they release the horse. The Kibamusha the Banpresto Kibamusha figure has the horse, which is insanely great. If Tamashii Nation will release the horse, I would love to buy it. If they don't release it, then I'm gonna have to customize a robot Damashii Funsaiki figure and give this guy a horse, because a knight is more, it will definitely look better if your knight has a horse. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next review. Bye bye, peace.